episode number 3 of Tales on the Rocks podcast. We're going to be going over Donkey Lady Bridge down here in San Antonio, Texas. Stamper's got a little memo written out over. He's going to read off some stuff, and we're going to see what we think about it.
Yeah. I'm going to try to skip through a lot of this stuff because I got this from River City Ghosts. They have a couple stories about who she is, and the whole folklore behind this place. So, Donkey Lady story has several iterations. They all have bad endings. One of them is a melted figure rushing from a burning home and jumping into river water and vanishing. And another one is a gruesome tale through the consensus and sometimes during the 1800s or the 1950s. Details leading up to the perilous death of the so-called Donkey Lady are also up for debate, but they all unravel in the same location. So, the two most popular versions of the lore of Donkey Lady start with a farmer, a wife, and their 2 children. In one version, the father snaps and turns on his family in a moment of Amityville horror. He kills the children outright, possibly refusing to subject them to the same brutal ends their mother was about to meet. Rather than sparing his wife, the farmer sets the home on fire, trapping everyone inside. It says that the wails echo from the rising inferno as the heat takes its toll on the woman's body. Her skin begins to melt the longer she stays in the house. The flesh of her fingers fusing together like candle wax. Her skin chars and recedes around her skeleton, giving her face an elongated look. Before death can take her, the woman breaks free from her home and rushes into the Medina River. Body was never found. It's believed the Donkey Lady is the charred woman returning, hoping to find her husband and exact revenge. The other story, which is the more popular version, is the family in their farmhouse, but it's not the father who kills them. So the family is minding their business on the outskirts of civilization. A stranger comes to their house and becomes sidetracked by their animals. Believed to come from money, the stranger torments one of the farmer's animals, either a horse or a mule. Bothered by the man's presence and actions, the animal bites him, inciting rage from the stranger. As he beats the poor beast, the farmer and his family rush out to protect their livestock. They chase the villain away with stones. It's not long before he returns. The man comes at night. He's joined by a posse of ne'er-do-wells who intend to help settle the score. Without the family knowing, the party sets the house on fire. In this version, the farmer tries to distract the men, hoping to give his family a chance to escape. He's gunned down instantly, and his children succumb to the blaze. His wife is doomed to become the horrifying fiend that would, in years later, spur the tales of Donkey Lady haunting the bridge on Old Applewhite Road. There's a third version, apparently, where his wife and he domesticated donkey. What? There's a third version that sees the wife and her domesticated donkey drowned in the river together. Okay. Their souls merge into one, transforming into a terrifying beast. But, we were looking earlier. Apparently people drive across this bridge during the day. Apparently it's pretty, it's nice.
It's a bridge.
It's a river, yeah. But apparently you can call her and, summon her. And it's basically just honking the horn and yelling out for the Donkey Lady.
So there's multiple
Sounds
origins.
Yeah.
That's like any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Any of these things, it's like, 5 or 6 ways that it happened.
Yeah.
There's not like one set agreed upon thing.
Does
they literally said that a spirit of a lady and a donkey mixed, and you can call it with the car horn. So I don't think
sounds more like
this is very science backed.
Does it say what bridge?
Yeah.
Old Applewhite bridge on Applewhite Road or whatever.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Medina south. It's like southern San Antonio, right outside of I believe 1604. Yeah. On the south side.
So we got to go and just honk our horn.
That's it, dude. We just go at nighttime. Well, dude, honestly, it might be more sketchy just going down to the south side.
That's not the south side. That's just south of San Antonio.
Yeah, the rough part of town.
No, that's
I don't think the Donkey Lady is our.
Side.
I don't think the Donkey Lady is going to be our biggest threat. Going there. I'm just being honest.
Well, dude, there's a ton of these weird folklore here in San Antonio. Obviously, that's just one one instance right there, but earlier on a break we were talking about we got to go see some of these actual ghost tours they have here.
Yeah, they have the Riverwalk one. I was doing that like Rio tour, and they were talking about it, and like there's a bunch of different bars that you can go, and like there's like one bar on the Riverwalk where like it was a like an actual like speakeasy bar that they had there, and like apparently like I don't know, someone freaking got shot in it or something. I don't know if it's true, but I'll drink.
Yeah, well, because even like, well, speaking of drinking, they say even at the Alamo, there's a hotel, an old hotel by the Alamo that used to be a Civil War hospital.
Yeah,
sometimes Teddy Roosevelt's ghost could be seen having a drink.
Dude, let's get it. Let's get it, old Teddy. Yeah, I mean, I kind of think like I think it would be neat to do stuff like that. I would just be kind of cautious with doing stuff like the Alamo since it's basically just in the middle of the street.
Yeah,
it's kind of unimpressive, and you can't like you just like walk up to it, and like that's it. Like you can't go into it.
Yeah, you can.
When I went, they didn't friggin'. They had the whole thing friggin' chained off. They had like the Texas like Rangers and shit out there and whatever.
Yeah, dude, you could tour the whole thing.
I'd be more interested to try to get like a recording of Teddy at the hotel and ask him his thoughts about Jimmy Carter giving away the Panama Canal.
the what? To the who?
He did what?
I can only imagine.
I think he would die again.
Yeah, he would come back to life and die.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, Teddy, and then he would just drop dead.
It's like, I'm going to go talk to Jimmy right now. Just flies right
yeah.
up the sky.
Yeah, go fly away to his peanut farm.
True. I mean, yeah, there's even a lot of stuff. I mean, I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff in like Texas that like we haven't, like even like San Antonio, but like I know for Texas in Denton, up by Dallas, they have the Old Alton Bridge.
Okay.
Where Goatman is, and you can summon Goatman on the bridge. Apparently.
What's with bridges here in Texas?
Dude,
just summoning.
I've actually heard that they don't do inspections on bridges here.
Yeah, you can summon them, and then the guy. So
all they do is hire. The only engineers that are hired to construct roads are Texas A&M graduates.
Goatman
right.
And Donkey Lady.
Yeah. I swear it's man, bear, pig. But like if you go to the Wikipedia page for the like Old Alton Bridge, Goatman's Bridge, people kept changing it. So there was the YouTube show BuzzFeed Unsolved before BuzzFeed fucked it all up, and they actually kept naming it Shane and Ryan's Bridge, and like there's like probably like the one guy who's doing like the updates for that bridge, and he has to keep fucking changing it back. And like the whole power of the internet's changed it to Shane and Ryan's Bridge, and he has to keep changing it back to the Old Alton Bridge. So like, I don't know. Maybe we could do that with this.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go through and we'll have it changed.
Yeah.
And there'll be that one guy that keeps trying to change the name of the bridge back. We won't let him.
Yeah. You guys ever seen a donkey lady before?
No.
I've seen a lady that looks like a donkey. Probably not her though.
So Lady Donkey.
Yeah, it's like a minotaur, but it's just a donkey head. Body of a lady.
Well,
head
did
of
you
a
guys ever
donkey.
do the Bloody Mary as kids?
Oh, no, I was too scared.
No.
Try it.
Yeah, but that goes a few different ways. Like some of it is like it's a bathroom, right? Some of it's just a dark room. Some of it you don't need a mirror. Like there's different versions of how you do that.
Yeah.
And like I think people psych themselves out because you can see at nighttime, you can see anything in a mirror. If you go into a dark room and stare at a mirror, it's after like 30 seconds, like you'll just start seeing shit.
Yep. That's just you tricking your brain.
Yeah.
Really.
Right, but if you tell a little kid freaking count to 3 and then this lady who like murdered people is going to be in the mirror, like they're probably going to see someone, you know?
Just walk in, it's dark.
Yeah, I mean, when I was young, I was convinced.
Yeah.
I saw it. I was convinced.
I like
Sure.
the South Park take on it. When they did the Biggie Smalls.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of Bloody Marys.
Bloody Mary. Biggie
They go into
Smalls.
like Biggie Smalls.
Biggie Smalls.
And then he just go in and start shooting his gun. Oh, man. Have you guys had a paranormal experience in your life?
Paranormal, I think even if I did, I don't really believe in any of that. Yeah. So I don't know if I would even go for it. I'd probably be like, that's weird. I mean, there was a how, like, if you were down that track, right, we were like, oh, there's nothing else going on. It has to be a ghost or a specter or whatever. Me and one of my friends, there was this old house in the middle of the woods, right? And there's a bunch of these old cars with like trees growing through them and shit. And we would just go in there and just freaking like explore, because it's like a full house and like there's a bunch of like garbage and shit stacked up in all these rooms. Like we would go through it and like see what we could find. And we were in there one day and it was like fucking August and it's super humid, muggy. And we're in the attic of this place and we hear some stuff rustling around downstairs. We're like, what the fuck is this? It's like we're picturing it's like a raccoon or whatever. And we eventually go downstairs again, and there's a Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee, like on this countertop, but it's got condensation on the outside of it. And we're like, what the fuck? Because like there's probably some like homeless guy living in here. Like it's still a house, you know? So yeah, we hung around for like 5 minutes and then got the fuck out. Ooh. But I mean, if you were to think like, oh, the freaking ghost, the homeowner came back. Like, no, they didn't.
Yeah, I've never really had like any like crazy paranormal experience. Like one thing, me and one of my cousins when we were younger, we used to mess around in my grandparents' house. I mean, it was an old home. It was in Cicero in an old Chicago suburb. I mean, the house today is well over 100 years old. But we would, see these, cross symbols and whatever, and we'd feel spooked. Was it something? I don't know. Was it probably just a couple of kids being scared by goofy things? Like, most likely, yeah. But I guess the real paranormal, or the closest thing to a real paranormal thing would be I was in Italy with my grandfather, and we were in one of the old areas with like these old like Roman ruins, and I didn't experience anything then, but after we had all the photos, we were looking back on the photo album, and you could see all like those orbs. None of the other photos from our trip had the orbs. It was just in that specific area. Not even the photos in the surrounding. It was just where those ruins were. Those orbs. You guys know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah. It was that one kind of freaked us out a bit.
You still have the pictures?
I think on a DVD somewhere.
No. You just burn them.
Yeah.
That's evil.
Yeah, I don't know. Like you'll see that in pictures a lot, and like. In pictures, it's kind of hard to tell, but people will take a video and they're like, oh, there's an orb, and it's drifting downwards in a very slow motion, kind of like dust does.
Or a bug.
Or anything that's kind of just floating in the air.
I don't know. This was a little too... Like, this one kind of made me feel a little weird. But
did you know about it when you took the picture, or only when you... After?
Only when I saw the picture.
So only when you saw these things on there, you were like, that's weird.
Yeah.
But you didn't feel anything while you were there?
No.
Did a Roman from a long time ago just try to, like, look at this young man?
Well, the Romans did kind of, they were a little
build each other up.
They were a little progressive for their time.
Yeah. They'd get canceled.
They were.
They'd get canceled right now.
Yeah, the Gothics canceled them.
Yeah. Yes, they did.
So I had an experience growing up when I lived in North Carolina, and I was about that age when my parents would leave me home by myself. And we had a German Shepherd. She was a porch dog. Like, she didn't go inside the house or anything, but she just stayed outside. We had like closer. Oh, yep. Is that better?
Yeah.
So she would just kind of like rove around the yard, and but she was like really smart. So she's like one of those dogs that really just would walk the boundary. So I was home by myself, and we had this super long driveway. I think we were on like 2 acres, and no trees. And I was in the backyard with my BB gun, probably torturing small animals. I don't know.
He showed no signs.
And here's Ed Kemper.
I dissected them. No.
They're nailed to a board in my bedroom. Making wallets.
The thing is filleted open. It's still alive.
It's a really cool wallet. I'm just saying. I was in the backyard, and you guys haven't met my grandpa, but he is a massive human being, and he has this very deep, distinct voice. His name's Bo. Everybody calls him Bo.
Okay.
Full name is George Washington. And,
Sure.
So, fascinating guy, but distinct voice. So I'm home by myself, and I hear my grandpa call my name. He's like, "Hey, Caleb!" And I'm like, "Oh, snap, Grandpa's here!" So I got super excited, and I ran to the portion of the backyard where I could see the driveway. Mind you, there's no cars, and I would have heard cars come up because it's a gravel driveway. Mm-hmm. So I was like, "All right, maybe he went inside." And I was just like, "Did I lock the doors?" And so I walked in, and kind of freaked me out. And I brought my dog. I brought the dog in, and she lost it. Her hackles go up. She starts growling really hard, and she runs up the stairs. It's a really small house, and the staircase went up to my bedroom and my sister's bedroom. There's a little bathroom. And she ran up there, and I just heard her just growling, and she came back down like nothing happened. It freaked me out. I was so scared. So I waited for my mom on the back porch the entire time, or on the front porch. I was on the front porch the whole time.
I'm sure that's what they wanted to see you when they got home.
Oh my god, I was so scared. So. Months have gone by. I told my mom about it. She's like, "Oh, whatever. It's not your grandpa." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." I'm freaking out more now. I couldn't sleep by myself. I sleep in my sister's room every now and then until I got over it. So by myself, forgot about it, and it happened again. And I was like, "All right, well, this is terrifying." Years later, I'm driving back from college, and I stop in Southern California to see my sister and my brother-in-law. And I talked to my sister, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to drive up to Washington with me?" She's like, "Yeah, sure." So we started talking about this stuff we're talking about right now, and I told her about my experience, and she just went white, the blood left her face, and she's like, "I had the same experience." So we have no idea what it is to this day. So we started doing some research, and what we could find were Wendigo, kind of ordeals, because Wendigos can apparently mimic voices. They're kind of known in that area or whatever. And, if you look up a picture of Wendigo, it's terrifying. And if I saw that as a child, I probably would not be an adult. It is terrifying.
Look that up.
Yeah, they are pretty scary looking.
So it's Native American folklore.
Yeah. The Wendigo is pretty popular for where you can't satiate its own hunger.
Oh, that's nuts. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's it's got a...
Well, so there's that, but then there's also... what is the one where it doesn't look like a deer? It's kind of just a regular...
a Patrona?
No, not a Patrona type thing. I mean, they kind of...
I'm talking about Harry Potter.
More like this. This is a...
Ooh!
Oh, that looks like Slender Man.
No, Slenderman's that really tall thing. Not that. This is because it is a person, right? Is a Wendigo. Mm-hmm. Where their greed makes it where they can't satiate their own hunger, and they'll just eat anything. And they got that they're real lanky, but they got that big bloated stomach. So that's the general thing for a Wendigo, would be that.
And I think too, a lot of the Native American folk, it's Native American folklore, but I think it's just these are tales that they would tell their children to make them listen, be more obedient.
100%.
Because the idea was that they lured children out to the woods where they weren't supposed to go.
So they don't want kids to escape or run away.
Yes.
They want them to be with their family and with their people.
A Wendigo can't come into your house unless you let them. You have to invite them inside.
Yeah.
So it's a stranger.
Yeah.
It's a stranger
so it's
thing,
don't let strangers into the teepee.
Yeah.
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 Basically.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So, I think that's all it was. It's just a cautionary tale of hey,
Checks
if you
out.
see a white devil, it's probably...
I mean, I went through... So when I was driving out here in 2019, I went through West Virginia, and there's a lot of folklore out there. So I stopped at the Mothman Museum.
Oh.
I got a picture with Mothman and his freaking buns of steel.
Big old
fucking clappers out the back.
Here, let's pull up a picture
And
of that one too.
Yeah, so I got that. They have a bunch of different folklore stuff down there, and it was kind of neat even going through that museum because it's free to go into. and like just like all the stuff they have, like all like different police reports and like witness testimonies from people and whatever, like all seeing this same thing.
Yeah.
And like they have a Mothman festival, which when I was in Virginia Beach, I actually wanted to go to. And there's like thousands of people that go to this thing every year. And like that's their main attraction. Like there's nothing else going on in this town other than Mothman.
Well, isn't Mothman?
That's it, dude. On the other side of that thing, there's some buns.
Yeah, dude,
freaking see if you can get a freaking
Dude, I gotta
rear
find
shot,
the-
dude.
the-
shot.
Yeah, do it. Yeah,
Ooh, back shots.
yeah, let's do back
right.
shots, dude. Back shots on the Mothman. Hey yo.
You won't be afraid of him anymore.
Yeah.
You're gonna be more
But like honestly, with
turned
freaking
on.
buns like that, dude, I would probably just walk into the woods naked and just
Yeah, I
serve
wouldn't
myself
be
up
so-
on a platter.
I
At
wouldn't be
that
so,
point, that's kind of Mothman.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
At that point, I wouldn't be elusive or wily. I'd just be out like, hey. look
I'd be
how hard I
cruising
work
for a
these
bruising,
butts.
dude.
Yeah.
Be like, let's go. See what we can get.
So, Mothman, wasn't there supposed to be like a sighting from the? That's it, dude.
Yeah,
Those
these
are
thing's a
cheeks.
fucking coin track.
Dude, those are buns.
Yeah.
So you remember the? Was it a while back? The bridge that collapsed in Minnesota. They said that there was a sighting of Mothman leaving the bridge.
So that was the thing with. There was a bridge collapse in. I forget where it was. I think it was somewhere in West Virginia, or it was like West Virginia, Ohio, like that border somewhere. A bridge collapsed, and apparently, like that's one of the things with Mothman is like right before there's like a tragic event, like he shows up. But I guess like it's only in Appalachia because like for 9/11, like where was he? You know.
Oh, no.
So I mean, I guess it's only for a certain region, but
I mean, I think he'd be afraid of a 747.
yeah, I mean, true. they put a no fly zone up pretty quick, so maybe he couldn't get out of there. Yeah.
a bug hit the windshield.
Yeah.
Turns out he's like the size of an ant.
Just a big lunar moth.
Yeah. Yeah. So like apparently.
Smearing it with the windshield wipers.
Yeah. Oh, now it's smudged. But like apparently that's like one of the big things is like it showing up before a major event. But the main thing was there's a area right outside of there in Virginia called the TNT area, and they basically just dropped off a bunch of like explosives and shit that like the government didn't need, were just dumped in the woods. So it's all closed off, but like teens would go out there because like it's kind of edgy. You know, like this place is like closed off. You're not supposed to be there. Like we're going to explore it. And these 4 teenagers went out there one night and they were driving down the road and they saw this thing in like this field just standing there. It had these big red eyes. So they turn around to like make sure that like they all did in fact see it because they were smoking some marijuana, right? A little lettuce. And they wanted to make sure that they did in fact see this thing. And they turned around and they see it there. And they're like, well, this is fucking weird. And they take off down the road. And this thing is following them, like flying above their car, like screeching and shit. And like, you know, how much of this, like they could just be kind of psyching themselves out at this point. But they drive all the way back to town and get they go to the police department and they write reports on what they ended up seeing. So like, for me, that makes some merit because like if you're all 4 of you are high and you just drove from somewhere you're not supposed to be to the police station to write a report about it, like that's, you know, if I had any assumption of like, oh, maybe I was just seeing something, like I wouldn't go to the police in that case.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
you know, there could be some merit from that. And like, you know, apparently there was someone else where like he tried to like steal like a kid out of a house, which, you know, I don't
That's terrifying.
really know how that works. It might have just been a person. But yeah, like there's like a bunch of weird lore when it comes to like the Mothman in general, and it really has like a cult following behind it
Yeah, it does.
because they do Mothmania. I got my Mothman socks that I bought.
Mothman socks.
Mothman socks, dude. I got those. You got the beady red eyes on it. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. I'm dialed in
I don't know.
when it comes to
I've
Mothman,
had
dude.
too many crazy experiences. Even though, like, I remember there was one time, me and 2 of my friends, we had gone to Saipan. We took like 9 days of leave. We were TDY in Guam at the time, and at the end of our TDY, we were like, all right, let's spend a week and a half in Saipan. It was a cheap flight, whatever. So anyway, on our flight there, we meet this woman who is from Saipan, super nice woman. Ended up really taking us around the whole island for our week that we were there. And one of the places that she took us to, or really told us to go to, was this old abandoned amusement park.
Okay.
Now, while me and my friends were there, we didn't experience anything weird, but she refused. Everywhere she took us, like, she would hang out with us, like, show us where to go, have us meet certain people that she knew, like different locals that she knew. But that was like the one place she refused to go in there. She just dropped us off and left. She said, just give me a text or whatever whenever you guys are done. And I don't know, it was weird. It was just that one instance, this old abandoned amusement park, she refused to go in there. And I guess a lot of locals just refused to go there. And now we didn't see anything there, but I don't know. It was just weird experience.
Done by Disney.
Dude.
That's case solved. Call it a night, boys.
Case closed.
Yeah.
It's where Oprah and the Illuminati go and do their sacrifices.
Well, that's even like the whole thing they
That's how
found
she stays
out.
young.
That's
Like
It's not
Bohemian
Ozempic,
Grove,
it's
dude.
human sacrifice.
Yeah. That's where they're drinking the blood of the kids.
And doing
in
as
the
a
Senate.
Well, okay, and Ozempic.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Ozempic is. They inject you with like blood of human sacrifice.
Yeah. It's actually stem cells.
Oh,
God.
Oh my god. Yeah, but like that's even when they find out like with that Bohemian Grove was like a big thing for a while.
Grove?
Yeah. So like apparently it's this thing where like to get membership you have to be referred by 3 other people in it, and then you have to pay like whatever their yearly dues are, which is fucking through the roof. And it's just all these rich people, and they meet in the woods for like a week out of the year.
Yeah.
And they do all these weird like effigy things and whatever else. And like apparently like a lot of like very high up powerful people like the Bushes and stuff were in it. And like no one believed it for a while until it like just came out that like, yeah, like it's like an actual thing.
Yeah.
And of course they claim they're not doing some weird shit, but like, come on, man, they were burning the fucking effigy. Like,
I mean,
they're doing some weird stuff.
You have all these like weird groups out now, and like we still have the Freemasons. And, like people are actively joining the Freemasons, and they just do a lot of ceremonial type.
Yeah, but they're not like doing anything
No.
though. They're just like a status, like,
Right.
oh, you're a Freemason.
Yep.
Ooh, spooky.
Yeah,
That's
they
most
show up in a
organizations.
parade every now and then on a
Yeah.
a tricycle and do some cool tricks.
Get on a
Sign me
razor
up.
scooter.
Yeah.
We'll see him do a little freaking flippy.
Let me do a flippy, and then they just hit their shin,
Oh!
hit the outside of their ankle with it.
Fuck. You see this old Freemason drops a saber. Oh, stinks. Oh, I can keep going.
Are you alright? That was a nasty wipeout. Can we just ride, please?
We still have the half pipe at the end.
Yeah.
They see me cry, I'm not going to get a girlfriend.
Well, wasn't that like a big thing of what was the movie about stealing the Constitution?
Oh, National Treasure.
National Treasure. Don't they
Yeah.
reference the Freemasons a lot?
Yeah, I mean, the Freemasons have been around for a long time.
That was a pretty weird movie.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's classic.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, it's classic, but it doesn't surprise me that they've made some references like that, because I think they were really stretching for what's going on.
I mean, it's a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you can't expect much.
yeah, no.
It's
Put
like
Nicolas
that
Cage in
Ghost
charge
Rider.
of anything.
Constitution off. That's a face-off reference. But like, it's like, people still want to believe. What's the movie with Tom Hanks? The Da Vinci.
Da Vinci Code?
Yeah. Well, wait, that's not what it's called, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it Da Vinci Code? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So people still want to believe the Illuminati are still in existence, and I think that there's records that the Illuminati disbanded like back in the 1500s or something, and that there's just no sign of them. And like that's all.
Go to Hollywood.
Dude, they say Jay-Z's part of the Illuminati.
Well, she did that weird triangle.
Jay-Z.
Oh, okay. No, I was thinking the wrong thing when you said that. I mean, there's a lot of people who think.
I guess Jay-Z and Beyonce. Then.
Yeah.
The Queen.
Yeah.
Queen Bee.
But like they even had where remember when
Hive.
Taylor Swift
Beehive.
initially went up to accept like one of her awards, and Kanye
West.
went up there and interrupted her, and apparently that was like initiation. Was to like embarrass the person or whatever.
All right,
I was like, okay, first of all,
my wife is not a habit.
if they're doing that, they're not putting Kanye up to it. And two, Taylor Swift and in the fucking Illuminati. All right, if someone's in the Illuminati, it's not her.
No,
not her. Just saying.
I
don't think that she would be partaking in alleged activities.
No,
of that
because
group.
If you really go back and look at some of these secret organizations, what were they doing? A lot of these people are suggested to have made huge movements in like the world. Like look at the Knights Templar. That was like one of the big ones for a while. And then the Freemasons are derivative from the Knights Templar. Is that right?
Yeah, right. Sounds
like
good.
They take a lot of like the traditional ceremonies from the Knights Templar or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the Knights Templar were actually like, doing some crazy shit. I mean, they were doing crusades and junk. And then like the Illuminati was also supposed to be like this group that was a world shaker. I don't think a celebrity is a world shaker. I don't think Taylor Swift is like.
No, I mean, I think if it comes down to the money, you have influence over stuff. But like, there's a bunch of weird groups that may not be doing anything. Like, there's the weird Disney Club 33 or whatever, where like there's like secret doors in fucking Disney that you can go into if you know where it's at and like what the code is and whatever else, and it's like buku bucks per year to be in this thing. And
there's
like,
also like a lot of weird things with Disney in general. Yeah. Walt Disney was a Nazi sympathizer.
Yeah.
Like, so there's.
You good?
Yeah. Sorry.
Unless that's in
Sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So there's that, but there's they say like these all look for these symbols throughout Disney if you go to Disney World or Disneyland.
It's actually a game. There's actually a whole game with that.
Really?
Yeah. It's a card game. So like my wife is really big into Disney stuff. So like you get like a stack of cards or whatever, and it's a scavenger hunt. So you can do certain activities in certain locations, and it shows like codes and stuff. And it's just like a little game. Yeah, it's nothing like crazy. if I
you're not looking for the all-seeing eye.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, it's not like one of the employees at Disney at one of the Disney parks dressed up as Mickey Mouse walks into a booby trap and just don't see him again.
Mickey walks into a mouse trap.
Yeah, trap door.
Yeah. He's gone to the mouse trap. Whop. Oh no.
Oh, he's gone forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we were talking when I was in school, and this one guy came up to me, and he was like, Mickey's a mouse, and he can talk, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, so he's kind of like a person. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, Goofy's a dog, right? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, Goofy can talk, so he's kind of a person, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, then why is Goofy Mickey's pet?
That's Pluto.
Is it Pluto?
Yeah.
What'd I say?
Pluto can't talk. Yeah.
What'd I say?
You said Goofy.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, because Goofy can talk. That's what. Yeah.
But
Oh, no, yes, so that's what it was. So it was Pluto. Yeah, okay. So it was Pluto was basically a slow person.
Yeah. Let's face it, Goofy's on the spectrum.
Yeah.
And not the good one.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like-
Pluto's a slow person. And he's Mickey's pet.
Okay.
Because, that's what it was. So Goofy's a dog and he can talk, but Pluto can't and he's Mickey's pet. That's what it was.
Well, do you guys watch, was it the Goofy movie growing up?
I can't say I had. I think I've seen clips
that's
where
the,
like his
his
son
his
wants
dad,
to
it's
like
a dad and son. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't think that anyone has pets in that movie. If you watch like those movies and you see like the world, nobody has like those pets. Like I have tons of questions when it comes to like Disney stuff. Like tons of questions. Like, okay, You know, was it Huey, Dewey, and Louie?
Who?
Huey, Dewey, and Louie, the three little ducks that follow Scrooge.
Oh, yeah.
Not Scrooge. What's their uncle's name? The rich Scottish...
Scrooge McDuck?
Is it Scrooge? Yeah, it might be Scrooge.
Dude, I had a staff sergeant.
Scrooge McDuck's the guy with the room of gold coins.
All his Marines
Yeah.
is Huey, Dewey, and Louie.
So, well, Huey, Dewey, and Louie, like, what happened to their parents?
I don't know.
There's actually...
They could have died in the war. That's what they did with a lot of that shit back in the day, dude.
Well, then, we're watching, over Christmas, we're watching like the Christmas like special, you know, like some of the old ones, whatever. Like not old, but like, you know, 90s what we grew up with.
Steamboat Willie.
Not that old. But it shows what's Donald Duck's girlfriend, wife, Daisy. She brings in a turkey, and they all eat it.
Like, when he's like slicing the turkey and like handing it out.
It is the most disturbing thing to watch. And I'm like, I know this is a cartoon for kids, but watching a bunch of ducks eat a turkey is like devastating.
So it's Donald carving a turkey?
Yeah. He's carving it pretty good, dude.
Yeah, he is. Because he's like doing
the
thing with the knives.
Yeah, he's doing the knives thing, and then he's got that long,
you know what? I think I know what you're
prong thing, and he's
Yep.
flopping them off onto people's plates.
And they're just going to town on this bird. And they're all birds.
I can't find it, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, because it was like kind of like Groundhog's Day. Like they wished, like the kids wished that Christmas was every day.
Right.
And they're eating a turkey every single day.
Dude, that tryptophan friggin' hitting.
Dude, turkey every day?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Gotta be sleepy.
Well, they're cannibals too. Right? Yeah. I mean, the birds.
No, that. Oh, yeah. A duck eating a turkey.
I mean, but would that make people cannibals when they do the weird thing and they eat like a monkey?
They're ducking.
Like that's it's a little bit different. Like, I don't think that people that eat those like monkeys are cannibals.
Have you ever tried a monkey?
No, I haven't. I thought I was going to eat that goldfish in the Philippines, though.
That was in Saipan.
Gassing myself up.
No, Singapore.
Oh, Singapore, yeah. And then it turned out just to be a pet shop.
I wish she just went over and just ate one.
Dude, that'd be crazy. I don't need to get like arrested. Probably would have fucking sent to prison.
Goldfish. That's nuts.
50-cent goldfish.
50
cents.
I had a pufferfish in Japan.
Yeah, you were telling us about that.
Yeah, dude. So we walked in. It was the right before I left Okinawa. It was the last place I ate at. It was like this famous sushi restaurant. Really good. You know, you walk in, they have.
Damn, you're ready to make that a story too. Last place you ate there.
It is. It really is. The last place I ate in Okinawa. Well, I was PCSing and spent the rest of my contract in Lejeune, unfortunately. Anyway, so we go to this restaurant. You know, you walk in, you see all these pictures of generals and celebrities and everything. And I see that there's pufferfish on the menu. I'm like, oh, this is pretty dope. I'm gonna do it. So I get it, and dude, it was some of the best sushi I've ever had.
Oh, I'm sure. I had horse sushi, which is pretty all right.
Is it horse?
Horse, yeah.
I've not had horse. Was like not a thing in Okinawa.
Yeah,
maybe
had
it was
Tokyo.
on the main. Were you out? Okay, because I've been to Tokyo a couple times.
Yeah, I just went around because like that was one of the things. I was like, I want to have some horse.
I spent most of my time.
I just walked around Tokyo drinking, just trying to find somewhere that would serve me horse and where I could get the habu sake.
Okay, most of my time in Tokyo was spent in Roppongi during their happy hour, where you could spend 1,000 yen, all you could drink.
Ooh.
Dude, oh my
Dude,
God.
so we went to
$10.
$10, all you could drink.
Yeah,
Dude,
we were supposed to go to
liquor
Shibuya. We were supposed to go to Shibuya because we stayed 3 nights in Yokohama, and then we wanted to stay in Tokyo. So we were like, oh, we'll stay in like the party area, and we messed up. Someone did. I don't. It's too difficult to say who messed up exactly. But instead of staying in Shibuya, we stayed in Roppongi, and that was fucking horrifying.
Hey, Roppongi's a good dude.
So the hotel we were at was like a North Korean hotel because you went through and it was myself and North were on the same floor, but we were like opposite ends of this hotel. So in the morning we'd get up and we would meet by like the elevators and then we'd go down. And every single morning they had all the room doors open and they were cleaning all the rooms, changing the sheets out on the bed or whatever. But we were the only people in this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
There was like 7 of us in this hotel and that was it. And every day they were like taking linens out, changing rooms, cleaning stuff, vacuuming, whatever. this whole big show. They had like a little like buffet thing in the morning they'd put out, and like we weren't eating it, but like then they would just like pack it up and put it away, and I'm like, this is kind of fucking weird.
You know what?
Because no one's here.
They're feeding samurais, old dead samurais, and geishas.
They mind, dude. It was pretty weird, but eventually we did get the habu sake. We literally
I love it.
We gave some guy. Oh yeah, it was our last night there before we had to go back, and we were trying to find it. And we went up to this guy in the street, and we're like, "Hey, we called this place that apparently has habu sake, but like they don't speak English. If we call on our phone, can you just ask them if they have it, like with them, because we want to try it?" So we handed this guy our phone, and he was like talking to him, and then he hung up, and he was like, "Yeah, they have it." He's like, you're not going to see the store. He's like, but this is the address for it. He's like, I put it in your phone. He's like, but you're like, it's not like a regular restaurant. Like you have to look for the sign for it. So we're like, okay, thanks. So we walk around through Tokyo and we're going to this place and we're like, okay. And of course, like you're on that like overseas cell plan.
Yeah.
So like good luck trying to get Google Maps and shit to fucking do what you needed to do.
Well, see, when I was there, I actually had a Japanese cell phone.
Oh yeah, we didn't have shit.
So that was
dude.
good to go.
Yeah. We were walking around and we're like hoping we get to the right area. And then it says we're there and we're at a 7-Eleven. And we're like, did we like fuck up or did this guy just like have us like run around, whatever? And we look in the back of the 7-Eleven and there's like a fucking staircase just like in the aisle that goes down into a basement. Well, like that's weird. And like you can see down there's like a sign that has something on it. So I took the Google Translate thing and like held my phone up to it. And it's the name of the restaurant. So we went down in the staircase below the 7-Eleven. And it's like this giant room. But it has all these like dividing beads between all these booths in there. And they set us up in a booth. And dude, we're like, you know, it's a bunch of Japanese people down there. And then frickin' 13 Americans that have been drinking for 6 days, dude. We are the loudest people in this place. And we go down there and we're like just like trying to like order stuff and whatever. And we get the habu sake and we all get a shot of it. And that is, it smells like rubbing alcohol. Like it smells like something you'd be like, I don't want to have this. But then you take like the shot of it and it's not like you're expecting it to burn, right? Mm-hmm. But it doesn't, nothing happens. It's kind of like that other tequila we had. The one you brought over.
The Siete Legolas?
Yes. Where like you smell it and you're like, woof, that's strong shit. And then you have it and it's like
just good.
Not bad at all.
Just sweet.
So we had a little bit of that and that was pretty good. And then that's when I think that's since the last night we were there, that's when we made the chew highs in my room in the garbage cans. And dude, we destroyed that room. Absolutely totaled it. We were going down, we were getting buckets of ice. We stopped at a 7-Eleven and we got all the stuff to make the chew highs and we were just mixing it in garbage cans in my room. Just fucking doing it, dude. Doing it the one way we know how. Yeah.
Dude, the best part about going to TDY to Tokyo is the staff sergeant that was like in charge of like getting the hotels for everybody. He was a smoker, so he would hook all the smokers up. At the time, I smoked cigarettes. Now I don't.
We can edit that out.
But he would like he was kind of a dick, but he was just nice enough to make sure all the smokers in the unit got smoking rooms.
Oh,
like what a guy!
I mean, all rooms are a smoking room if you want to pay the fine. You know, if the fine's $100 for smoking in the room, if you got $100, it's a smoking room, dude.
Yeah, that's such a dick move.
It's $100. I mean, dude, it's like
Be
anything.
respectful.
It's like anything. If you can pay for it, you know.
That's like Bill Gates not driving on the license plate.
Sure. You could do it. I mean, what do you think they're going to do if they stop, like, Elon Musk for speeding? Oh, this is going to be $200. Okay.
He'll have a Doge pay.
Whatever. Yeah. He'll sell some Doge and friggin' pay it.
I was going to say, I don't know where we got into Japan there for a bit. Speaking of...
We're going all around the world.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're getting away from ghosts.
Oh, I know. Well, I mean...
It's the ghost of my soul in Japan.
Dude.
Yeah.
Still roaming.
I still haven't gone.
It's fun. You should.
Japan's fun, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
I've
Yeah, I would definitely try and wangle it in, whether it's a vacation or something.
See, I got lucky. I got stationed there for 2 years, and then I got a chance to travel on the government's dime.
It's the best time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, when the government pays for it, yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even want to go to India when the government paid for it, because that kind of sucked.
That was awful.
Yeah.
Well, you guys also pulled into a really bad spot.
We pulled in, and there was, like, poop, like, aerosol coming at us. I don't know what it was, but it smelled horrible. Yeah, I remember we were just all out there, because, like, we were supposed to pull in at, like, noon, and then we ended up not pulling in until, like, 11 o'clock at night.
I'll never forget that cloud, though, because we were pulling in. We're like, oh, wow, India. Oh, so exciting. And then there was the energy grid, and then there was a nuclear refinery, and there was an oil refinery.
All next to each other.
Yeah. So
and then I thought that cloud was like dust or sand. Like, I thought it was like, oh, there's like wind like blowing whatever. And then it hit us, and it just literally smelled like the inside of a fucking porta-john. And I was like, what the fuck? Dude. I was like, what the fuck is this? And then that's when we were leaving, and that guy was dancing on the train.
Yep.
Yeah, because we had to like get to our hotel by like 12, and they granted liberty at like 11:15.
Like we were getting ready to cross that train track, and like
the train came on,
and it was like a 30-minute.
Well, the thing is the train was probably like half a mile long, but it was going like 7 miles an hour. And then at just the end, and there's just a guy dancing on it.
We were so mad, though.
We could all see our Ubers on the other side of the train tracks just waiting there.
And then I just remember everyone being so flustered, so angry, and then there's the guy dancing on the last car.
Well, that was it. That was enough to make it.
You know what? This is all right.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's probably the wildest place I have been.
Yeah. Was
India. Probably if I were to go back somewhere, obviously like the Maldives would be it. Because it was just amazing.
Like it.
I would also like to do Philippines again.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy the Philippines. Just because everything was so cheap. I mean, granted, we kind of got there at a shit time because like they just got hit with the typhoon like 2 days before we pulled in. But it was fun. We did hit the guy on the moped.
Yeah. Oh my.
But the driver didn't seem to care, and the guy on the moped didn't seem to care. So I guess it's all right.
I'll remember that next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to some pretty good countries on my next one.
Yeah, you should luck out. Should be pretty decent. Those are all. There's really nowhere bad that you're going to end up going on that.
Oh yeah, we'll have a debrief on the podcast once I get back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Dude,
that's going to be
good.
That's going to be buckled in. That's going to be one of your stand down days. We'll get it sorted out for you.
A little deployment debrief.
Yeah, we'll give it a hot wash right here.
Oh yeah, hot wash on the podcast.
Check.
That'll be good. Well, that'll be. I think me and him will be getting off of the deployment right around the same time. Actually,
I'll have to find something to do solo.
Yeah.
With this, I'll have to come up with something.
Just sit up here and just get blind drunk.
Dude,
start talking into the mic.
Dude, you don't think I could? That could probably be some of our longest episodes. Would be me just getting after it one night. Just racing to the bottom.
Or dude, just do like recorded phone calls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean those. The thing that I tried, like I've done podcast stuff where like it's like over like Skype or whatever, and like it's not the same.
No,
it's not the same thing. You can still do it, but it has a very different feel to it than just having someone be there. And also too, like you basically start on those, and it's like okay, like we're like everything's working, we're recording. Mm-hmm. Versus where like we got like you guys got here, we freaking hung out, bullshitted for a little while, had some pizza, some drinks, whatever, and then come up and start recording. Like you're not just like cold calling.
Yeah.
To get into whatever.
But I think we kind of beat up what we were talking about for this episode.
I don't think that.
I think we got to save the rest for the next one.
Yeah. I don't know if for us if necessarily it should be probably more of just a theme.
Yeah.
I don't think we can really do
Yeah.
these subjects too well.
I don't know, man. I think let's go ahead and end this one.
Yeah, so we'll do this here for end of episode 3, and then we'll see everybody in the next one for episode number 4. Have a good one.